Julie Collins, welcome to 7:30.
Thank you, Sarah.
Now, the target of the Housing Australia Future Fund is to build 30,000 social and affordable homes over 5 years. The research suggests that the actual need is much bigger than that. How did you come up with that figure?
We obviously took to the election a $10 billion Housing Australia Future Fund with an ambition to build 30,000 social and affordable homes in the first 5 years of the fund. The idea, of course, is that returns from the fund are there in perpetuity, adding to social and affordable housing each and every year. The Housing Australia Future Fund is a critical but one part of the government's broad, ambitious housing agenda. We're obviously doing a lot more than just the Housing Australia Future Fund, but the Future Fund is critical in terms of leveraging investments from other tiers of government and, of course, institutional investment and building the capacity of community housing providers right across the country.
Let me just ask you this. If you're going to invest $500 million a year to build 30,000 homes over 5 years, that means you're planning to spend $83,000 per home. Can you build a home in Australia for $83,000?
Well, that's obviously the Commonwealth's contribution. As I said, it's about leveraging other investments from other tiers of government. It's about leveraging investments from community housing providers, and it's about leveraging institutional investment into social and affordable housing. What we want to do is create social and affordable housing as investment asset classes in Australia. What we want to do is get more homes on the ground more quickly. And the whole point of the fund and the way we've designed it this way is so that it's there in perpetuity with returns each and every year, providing long-term investments and long-term certainty for investors and indeed for community housing providers.
When will the first home be built?
Well, that will depend on how fast we get the fund through the Parliament. We, of course, already have homes on the ground, going on the ground today from the $575 million that we unlocked last year out of the Jobs and Skills Summit. And, of course, we've got our National Housing Accord, which starts on 1 July 2024.
I beg your pardon, in relation to this particular fund, assuming that you do get it through, when would the first home be built?
Well, it'll take a little while for those returns to come through. So the sooner we can get the fund through, the sooner we can get homes on the ground. These types of plans and projects take quite a while to get off the ground. So as soon as the bill is passed, we need Housing Australia to be going out there, working with all of the providers, working with the sector, so that we have concrete plans. So as soon as the money's able to flow, we have houses going under construction straight away.
And just briefly, how long do you think that will take?
Well, it will take a few months to get the returns from the fund. We anticipate probably in the first 12 months we'd get a return. But as I said, it's just part of our broader housing policy, and we already have homes going on the ground today because we unlocked that $575 million immediately late last year.
Now, you need the support of the Greens to pass the bill. They made a concession last week. How close are you to a deal?
We're, of course, talking to parliamentarians right across the Parliament. When we got the bill through the House of Representatives, we got support of the majority of the crossbench, indeed all of the crossbench except the Greens, and we even had one Liberal member cross the floor and support the bill. I think people know that we need to get homes on the ground. We have a serious supply issue in Australia today. We need to get more homes on the ground more quickly, but we need to do it in a responsible way, working with the construction sector and working with community housing providers, and that's what we want to do. And we're busy talking to people right across the Parliament. We got a letter